Hello everyone. Thanks for coming during what is probably the beginning of lunchtime, but we're going to make it work for you a while. You've probably heard over the... Okay. Sorry about that. Hopefully it's better now. Yeah? Okay. You've probably heard over the past couple of weeks that we've announced some major changes to our DevNet/automation certifications. And this is what we're here to talk to you about today. We're going to give you an update on that and on the training that goes with it. My name is Francois. I'm the product manager for the learning side of everything that has to do with automation at Cisco U and in-person training. And with me I have Mubasher.
Hi everyone. My name is Mubasher Nawaz and I'm the... Can we get the volume up, please? Good?
Yeah,
okay, so hi everyone. I hope you can hear me now. My name is Mubasher Nawaz and I manage the certification portfolio of all the certifications for Cisco from entry to expert level. So any changes that you see that we announce is done by my team. And I'm very eager to share the changes that we have recently announced on May 27th on the automation front with Francois.
So a quick housekeeping slide for the Q&A. Like every session, there's a WebEx space that you can join with the app. However, we have a lot of time today for Q&A. There's microphones here. Please walk up and ask us questions anytime you'd like. We'd love for this to be a discussion. We don't want to just stand here and feed you some PowerPoints, so don't be shy. We'd love to talk to you and answer your questions. So we're going to give you a brief overview of the story so far. We're about 5 years into the DevNet certifications as a program. We're going to explain why we're making changes, what is changing, from a certification perspective and from a training perspective, and then we'll do some Q&A, but please don't wait for us to say Q&A to come and ask questions. So this is what the landscape looked like originally in 2020, a little bit over 5 years ago, when we launched the DevNet certifications. There was an awareness at that time that automation, DevNet kind of things was going to be the skill of the future. It was what network engineers needed to learn to be more efficient, to be able to meet the needs of their business faster. And so we launched certification at 3 levels. Initially an associate and a professional certification. The associate has always been one exam. And the professional, just like the CCNP certification, there was always a core and a whole bunch of different specialization. We came up with a whole bunch of flavors to try and see what people were interested in specializing in. And then a couple of years later, we launched the DevNet Expert, which is our CCIE level certification. It's like other CCIEs, it's combined of a written and a lab. The written is the core of the professional. And then there's a very difficult day-long lab you have to do, like we do for every one of our expert certs. So this is what things look like in 2020. So let's talk about why we're making changes. We've been hearing from analysts like Gartner for years that there's going to be more and more adoption of automation. And if you go right over there in the DevNet zone and you see the kind of topics, the way things are evolving, the way the discussions are evolving, we are seeing more and more adoption of automation in the industry. People are using Ansible, Terraform, Python, and APIs in their network to do things faster. So we know that it's important for us to keep evolving and keep growing this certification program. Another data point that we look at, there's a company called Lightcast, not associated with Cisco, we're a customer of theirs. They basically ingest all the job postings and all the resumes on the major platforms out there, the LinkedIn's and the Indeed and all those job searching things. And they do large-scale data analysis to determine what skills are needed in the industry today, what skills are employers looking for, and what skills are people building. And by comparing those two over time, they're able to tell us that for network engineering and architect roles, over the next 2 years, and I got this data last week, so this is fresh data, over the next 2 years, we're going to need 31% more people skilled in automation, 25% more people skilled in Python, and 15% more people skilled in Ansible. So just looking at the hiring trends of job openings, the need for these skills is increasing. So why are we making change? What is changing?
So going to the point, what is changing? I don't know how many of you saw the keynote this morning, and when our Cisco's chief product officer was highlighting the changes that AI is going to bring into our networks moving forward, there is a greater need to have automation in place to take care of all the threats and everything else that's coming out from this AI environment, this AI world that we are living in. So keeping that in mind, and what Francois just highlighted in terms of all the stats that we had in front of us, what we decided that we need to make a major change in our certification program to include more automation into it, to make sure that it is there and it is getting the workforce ready for future. So with that in mind, starting February 3rd, 2026, all our DevNet certifications will be rebranded to automation certifications. They will all be called as CCNA automation, CCNP automation, and CCIE automation. Our DevCore, EN Auto, and DCN Auto are going to have a major update to their blueprints. We have gone through a rigorous work of our process to make sure that we include all the changes that we wanted these 3 exams to have. But with this change also comes some simplification. So rather than having all that different flavors of automation certifications, we are going to get rid of CL Auto, SP Auto, S Auto, and DevOps. They are going to EOL on February 3rd. So if you are preparing for that exam or any of the current exams that are there, the last date to test would be February 2nd. So continue your preparation, make sure you do and pass your exam by February 2nd. If you want to do the new exams that are going to come out, they are going to be available from February 3rd onwards, 2026. One thing to note, there is no change in the blueprints for associate level, and there is no change in the blueprints for the expert level exam. It's only a rebrand for those 2 exams. So if you're someone who's in process of preparing for those exams, continue your preparation, do not stop. Even after February 3rd, it will only be a rebrand and nothing else. The updated exam topics, we were working on them during this week as well. They are going to be available in July. You will see the announcement coming out. So keep an eye for that one. As soon as that's available, you will see the new updated blueprints. So what happens? So how are we going to migrate these different candidates who are already holding a DevNet associate or a DevNet professional? So on February 3rd, what's going to happen is that all DevNet associate people are going to be moved to CCNA automation. Automatically, they can download their new badges from Credly. They don't need to do anything. They just need to make sure that if they are certified, it's valid certification, and they can download their new badges on February 3rd from Credly. Similar to what's in the current DevNet professional, if you are one of these, DevCore, EN Auto, or DC Auto, you will be migrated to the new exams, which will be AutoCore, EN Auto, and DCN Auto. And if you hold a DevNet professional badge, you will get a CCNP automation badge on February 3rd. Please note the following certifications, SP Auto, S Auto, CL Auto, DevOps, are going to be EOL'd, and there is no migration plan for those certifications that is going to be provided. So these are the migration plans. If you hold one, you will automatically be migrated. Similarly, for DevNet Expert, if you have a DevNet Expert today, you will be migrated to CCIE Automation, and you will be given a CCIE Automation badge on February 3rd, moving forward. So this is what the new landscape is going to look like starting February 3rd onwards. So it's very simple. You have CCNA automation, CCNP automation, and CCIE automation. CCNP automation is going to have 2 concentration exams available to you, very focused on enterprise and data center network automation exams. So I'll hand over to Francois to discuss about the learning paths.
Thank you, Mubasher. Any questions so far? Please, do you mind coming up to the mic so we can hear you? One second, let's make sure their AV techs are turning on the mic.
Hello.
Thank you.
Just to clarify that last slide, the CCNP has a core one first, and then those two below it are the specialist
They are
ones?
concentration exams, yes.
And you use the word first. You're welcome to take them in the order of your choice.
Yep.
The reason I'm saying that is a lot of people start actually from the specialization. Like I'll take my own example. I did a lot of work with the enterprise networking API in Calais Center, in Meraki, and also with iOS XE. Professionally, that's what I did. So I took EN Auto first before taking the core exam, because for me it was easier. It was a domain I already knew. So you can take them in the order that you want. You just need to pick one of the two specializations, either the EN one or the data center one. And I'll add one thing. You probably saw in Mubasher's slide that we're going from DC Auto to DCN Auto. Let me talk real quick about what we mean by that. The current data center automation covers two different topics. Data center networking, which is the world of Nexus and ACI and Nexus Dashboard, and the world of compute with Intersight and UCS and all that. The reason why we're going to DCN Auto is we're going to be focusing this exam and the associated training on just data center networking. Because we realize that from a persona perspective, you, our customers, are typically not the same people managing UCS servers as the same people managing Nexus switches. In larger enterprises, in smaller companies, it could be the same person, but in larger enterprises, it's different people. So that's why we're really focusing on network automation and in the enterprise and in the data center. So any other questions before we go forward? Okay, I'll keep going. So let's talk about the training. Let me show you the roadmap real quick. Like Mubasher said, we announced everything that we're talking about a couple of weeks ago. We actually were at another conference called AutoCon. If you haven't heard of it, it's a non-Cisco conference for network automation. It's pretty cool. Something's going on with my slide. Right now, we're going to be, I know what's going on. Okay. In July, we're going to be announcing the blueprints, like Mubasher said, for the 3 new CCNP exams. I'm very sorry, the slide is going to keep moving forward in a weird way. In July, we're going to be releasing the blueprints, the updated blueprints. You know, okay, I'll just leave this up.
Is this a play button? Maybe
I don't know, something's going on. It's a ghost in the machine. Okay, if it's not moving, we'll just stay here. We'll just stay here and I'll explain to you. Okay, in July, so in a few weeks, we're going to be releasing the blueprints for the new CCNP automation. The 3 things we just talked about, the core, the 3 specializations, those blueprints that you're going to want to use for training, for practicing, we're going to launch them in July. In August timeframe is going to be the first new training that we launch. It's a course called PRNE, which stands for Programming for Network Engineer. It's actually not a new course. We've had this course, PRNE, Programming for Network Engineer. We've had this course since like 2017, 2018. It's a good course, but it's getting a little bit old and it needs a fresh coat of paint in how we teach Python. And so the way we're going to do it is we're rebuilding it from the ground up, and we're going to be using a lot of hands-on use cases of network-centric use cases, like building an inventory of your iOS devices in Python. So instead of teaching you Python as if you were a developer, we're teaching you Python as if you were a network engineer, which is, you know, in the name of the course, so it should be obvious. So be looking out in August for that. We'll be announcing it and talking about it, but you guys get to find out about it first. A couple other things we're going to do that are unique is all the sample code for that one will be on GitHub publicly for free. The course is probably not going to be free. It's going to be on Cisco U or an in-person training, you know, with all our learning partners. But we're actually going to put the samples on GitHub, which we've never done for a paid course before. So that's one training option that's going to be available very soon. There's another option which is always available. On Cisco U, we have DevNet, which is Understanding Network Automation Essential. It's an introduction course to network automation. It's always free on Cisco U. So we encourage you to go to our Cisco U platform, even if you don't have a paid subscription, because we have this, and we have a bunch of tutorials also, which are these short 45, 60-minute courses. We have a lot of them on automation. The training for the CCNP itself, AutoCore, EN02, and DCN Auto, we're scheduling the release of those for around the same time as the exam. So February timeframe, when the exams go live, the training will go live. We're going to give you the blueprints to practice on your own, but it takes us time to develop the training. And so those two things are planned for release in February. So yeah, that's our plan. Some training now, some training in February, new exam, new name for the certs. Any questions? We have 15 minutes. We'd love to answer any questions you may have. Can you step up to the mic, please, so that everybody else can hear you? Hi, Eduardo.
Hi. If I take the DevNet Associate, will I automatically be a CCNA?
Yes.
That is correct, yeah. So if you do a DevNet Associate today, and it's valid for 3 years, and starting February 3rd, you will automatically migrate it to CCNA automation. No, you don't need to do anything. We will take care of it.
One test, right?
Yeah.
And I know I talked to a few of you before the session started. Several of you are taking exams this week. So any exam that you take this week, the DevNet Associate, DevNet Professional, automatically February 3rd, you'll get the new badge.
So one of the things that I was thinking, Francois, was as a Cisco customer, why should I care about this change? Why are we worried about these changes that are happening?
So the number one point of feedback that we got from you, because we meet with you customers all the time and ask you all what we think about that, about our certs. The main point of feedback that I've received is, hey, I just got my DevNet Associate. I put it on LinkedIn, I put my credit badge, and someone asked me, what's that? And I had to tell them, well, it's like a CCNA, but for DevNet. And so why don't you call it a CCNA? And same discussion for the professional and the CCNP, the same discussion at every level. So the main benefit we see for you, our learners, our test takers, that you're not going to have to say it's like a CCNA, you're going to get a CCNA. Same sentence with the CCNP and the CCIE. So we'd like to give you a certification that you don't have to explain. The second big benefit I see is, remember that slide about the landscape in 2020? That was like a whole slide full of logo, right? There was a lot of stuff to navigate, and people got confused as to, do I want the collab or the WebEx one? Do you know the difference? I don't know the difference. I mean, we should know the difference, but nobody knows the difference, right? So we've reduced the confusion. It's network automation. You choose your flavor, data center or networking. That's it. So
that's excellent, Francois. And as a Cisco partner, why is this change important for me?
Well, the partners. Come. I'll answer your question. I'll talk about partners after.
Yeah.
So for the criteria that you're sunsetting, the CL Auto, the people that were focused on the collaboration stuff, you didn't really mention, you said there's no transition or migration for that specific, but does that mean you're rolling in some of the fundamental stuff from there into, and I assume it would be enterprise, not data center networking, or are you just not including any more collaboration content?
So the core exam is going to be, so I guess I'll start by answering on the two specializations. The two specializations are going to be specialized. I know I'm stating the obvious, but in the enterprise networking, we're not going to cover anything else. And in the data center networking, we're not going to cover everything else. So those things are going to be domain focused. The core is going to continue being a broad exam, but it's going to be focused on network automation, which means that we can't really say more until the blueprints are made public in a few weeks, but there's not going to be major section on collaboration, because we have to cover all the skills that are used and all the skills that are needed to be a network automation engineer. So we're shifting our focus, sorry for the echo, we're shifting our focus away from very product-centric and product API-centric testing in the core and really going towards automation skills like CI/CD, that sort of thing. So yeah, collab is going to be very much, not something we specialize on anymore.
So partners?
Yeah, partners. Yeah, the other population that we always think about is our partners. And for you, if you are customers and you choose which partner to hire to help you with your automation, well, you have the same decision to make as our hiring managers have to decide who to hire. So by giving our partners new certifications that are very clear, hey, I know how to do data center network automation, we're hoping that our partners are going to find it easier to sell their services and to update their resumes when they go sell themselves. So that's the population that we care about too.
So another thing I think that we were also talking a lot about was how is this going to affect people who are in the transitional phase? So if you have done something already, then how is it going to look like for you in future? So I think you had some question on that as well earlier, Francois, right?
Yeah. Let's say, for example, I'm someone who's on my journey towards the DevNet professional today. What should I do?
So if you're someone who's in a journey towards your DevNet professional, and let's say you have done your dev core today, and you are preparing to do one of the concentrations in next 7 months, continue doing that. If you do it, you will still get your DevNet professional, which will be transitioned to a CCNP automation in future on February 3rd. If you are someone who has done a EN auto exam or a DC auto exam, and you are preparing to do your dev core in next 7 months, continue doing that. On February 3rd, we will transition you if you pass your exam. Even if you don't pass your exam, another interesting thing is, let's say I do my dev core in September or October, and I plan to do my specialist exam in March or April, which will be an EN auto or DC auto. Can I combine both of those exams? Yes, you can. So if you do a dev core today and you do an EN auto in, let's say, March, you will still get your CCNP automation exam certification as soon as you pass your requirements. So any combination of those is valid. If you do any specialist certification today and you do a dev core after February 3rd, or I should say auto core after February 3rd, you will still get your CCNP automation certification after that. Right?
So nobody's getting stranded. Nobody's
Exactly.
getting left behind.
So
regardless of where you're at in your journey, we're taking care of you.
exactly. So wherever in your learning journey you are, we have a migration plan for you. We will take care of things. On February 3rd, we'll make sure that you have your required badges from Credly that you can download on February 3rd, and we have the validity of your exams as it transitions to the next one. Okay?
And those badges are going to be automatic, right?
That's going to be totally automatic. You don't need to do anything. You just need to wait for February 3rd.
So I think the last question that some people may be asking us is, what about the DevNet experts today? People who have that today. You want to talk about digits and that topic a bit?
Exactly. So DevNet Expert is a special case because it has a different numbering system than the CCI numbering system. So as we are talking, we are discussing how we are going to move the DevNet Expert certified people to the new numbering system or the CCI numbering system. There's a whole plan for it. We will announce that as the blueprints will come out. But if you have a DevNet Expert today, you will be migrated to CCI automation on February 3rd. You will get your badges, which you can download from the Credly automatically. But just wait for the announcement. That's going to come with the blueprints, and you will see how the transition is going to happen for anybody who already has a DevNet Expert.
Awesome.
All right.
Any last questions before we close? Don't be shy. We have mics. We're happy to answer them. No, nothing. Okay. I think we being told there's a raffle.
There's a raffle somewhere in underneath somebody's chair. If you can look underneath.
Yeah. So look under your chair, Oprah style. There's like a pencil pouch. We're told under one of the chairs.
Or in front of your chairs if it's not underneath your chair. Because there are some empty chairs.
If you find
whoever finds it,
go see the lady over there. Her name is Emma, and she'll have a prize for you. Anybody find anything under the chairs?
Maybe check in front of your chairs as well.
Emma, we're not finding the raffle thing.
I think it's okay. Somewhere there. I can see it. If somebody can go grab it. Oh, you found it.
Yes, you found it. Congratulations, sir. So go see Emma over there after the talk, and she has a prize for you. So let's close with a quick call to action. Well, we've simplified the path forward. So choose a path. Start with the CCNA if you don't have it. Pick one of the two options for the professional. Start learning today. We have some courses today. We have better courses launching in August. We're going to have a whole bunch more courses and tutorials releasing over the next 6 months. Start your learning, because on February 3rd, you can start taking the new test if you want. Or if you don't want to wait, take the old test. We have options. So that's what we have, and we're very happy to answer any more questions you have if you want to come talk to us. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your time.
Do complete evaluations.